So guys, I am about to get dressed to go to church. I'm not going to be late. So I'm about to jump in the shower and get myself ready, and I will try to bring you guys along with me as I'm getting ready and as I get to the church. And then I got work I got to get done today. So that's what I'm doing today. I am this morning getting ready to get ready. I don't want to be late for church. I was late for church last week, and I had to sit all the way on the other side, so I'm not going to be late today, and I don't like being late for church. So hello guys, if you are new to the channel, hello. I am Bernadette Washington. Some call me Coach. I'm done showering. I'm about to get my, do my hair. And I have to hurry up because it's like 8:11, 8:15 or whatever. But I also wanted to, while I'm doing this, y'all, I gotta hurry up, put on my makeup, do my hair. Because I wanna leave out of here by 8:30. So, if y'all wanna see what I'm using, it's called Unlay. It's some young lady that I ordered this from New York. What it does is it keeps a shine on your hair and it doesn't flatten it, right? It keeps it kind of, it doesn't take the bounce or whatever out of your hair. It doesn't lay it, doesn't make it heavy, if you want to, if you say that, but if you want to say that. But anyway, let me talk about this Michael Brown, Dr. Michael Brown thing. Okay, so let me say this. And I can't remember what YouTuber I saw with reading the letters and stuff from this guy named Robert Canton and all that kind of stuff. And I understand that their point is that they just want Dr. Michael Brown to be honest about his behavior back then, right? And I get that, right? Just be honest about what happened and all that kind of stuff. But everybody seemed to think that he ought to get into some major details about everything that happened to the whole public. I don't know about that now. I don't know about that. Because why don't you tell everybody all of your mishaps and every detail of your mishap? And I understand he's in leadership position, but the leadership he's still a saint. God had just called him to do something different in the body of Christ. But now, and I know leaders are to be held to they have to have a certain type of standard. I get it. I'm a leader. I get it. I understand. But now, you want to know every detail of the situation? I don't think so. I think his point is that if the young lady want to go ahead and tell all the details, that's fine if that's what she wanted to do. And I think that's what she did, what happened in this letter from this guy named Ron Canton. I'm sorry if that's not the person, please excuse me. And she's speaking up. But let me tell you what my issue with that situation. All right, I'm just telling you how I see it. Number one, they said that somebody mentioned something to Dr. Brown about it. I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago or so, about something that she was saying, and he pretty much kind of didn't address it. He didn't address it. Well, that was his mistake. He should have, right? He should have contacted the young lady after he got word that she was saying whatever, right? I felt like he should have contacted the young lady at that point, and they sit down with the wife and allow her to vent and say whatever how she felt during that time. Okay. I see why people felt like it was hypocritical. He was preaching one thing, but he was living another at that time. Okay. Now, but let's be honest about it. Let's go and be honest about it. You ain't never did that before, as a saint. You ain't never was saying one thing and then find yourself doing something different. Now stop. Yo, I got cut off because my memory on my phone, I had to delete pictures and stuff like that. It may stop again, but anyway. What I'm saying, everybody asking Michael Brown to do something that they're not around here telling everything that they do. And so don't tell me you ain't never, while you were saved, was teaching something that you wasn't quite living yourself. Okay? So now y'all can miss me with that foolishness. What I'm saying to you all, we so quick to want to tell somebody, want to give all details. And my thing is, like I said, the minute he heard that there was still some issue, he kind of ignored it. What should have happened, then what she should have done, she should have called him, she should have called Dr. Michael Brown and his wife and say she wanted to have a sit down with them. And she didn't do that. It was all thought third party, and she saying this and saying that, but she a saint. So yeah, y'all. So I think she could have contacted Dr. Brown herself after there was no response from him when someone else mentioned it to him before. And so, she could have done that as well. I do not think that this had to be something that the way that it is because of hearsay. If she was that distraught, there was no reason why she couldn't contact Dr. Brown herself and the wife, and they sit down and have a conversation about this. And she talking about, if he truly didn't mean to hurt, it should have never happened in the first place. Well, guess what? She allowed it. She sat there and allowed him to kiss her. It's not like her lips were stiff. And don't get me wrong, I know he was the one in power. It probably stunned her. But what I'm saying is that she's not entirely innocent herself in this situation. And what I'm saying is, if that situation was a major issue, she should have contacted them directly and have a conversation with him and say, hey, listen, this is what I know I didn't do much, but I was afraid. I was this and I was that. And that's why I responded the way, because he didn't force you to hold his hand when he reached his hand in the back. You held it. You held it. So what I'm saying is that it shouldn't have been a third party. And then don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he didn't abuse his power. I'm just saying that you knew you was holding a married man's hand. Right? That's all I'm saying. And this situation, she could have called Dr. Brown and his wife and said, hey, we need to talk. the way that I responded and the way that what we did, I'm not settled with it. We need to talk. Period. And the same thing when it comes to Susie and Johnny Lab. Johnny Lab do not need to step down unless everybody gonna step down. Because the guy that they are accusing of doing something to the girl, ain't no charges have been brought yet. I'm sure there's an investigation going on, but Johnny doesn't need to step down for that. That's her company. And if Jonathan and Susie doesn't like who she married and how, then let them go find another job. Period. Now, if they want to have issue with her, if they find out that this guy did do something or is some type of pervert, then I can see they having issues with her, right? And for taking up for him and all that kind of stuff. But nothing has come out yet. And my thing, and this thing with Dr. Brown, like I'm saying, he made a bad decision, and so have you all. So have you. He was saying one thing and then doing another. But so have you. And leadership. Because some of y'all think y'all leadership is different than just being on the pulpit. No, it's not. You leading people and you saying one thing and doing another, you in that same category. But that's how I think that should have been handled. And I'm not getting ready to fall out because Dr. Brown made some bad choices back about 23 years ago, because we all have, because I know I've made them. I've been saved over 30-something years, and I've done things, love God, that I had no business doing. And yes, I was a leader in my church. And I had no business doing. Now, what did I do? I set myself down during that time. But at the same time, it doesn't disqualify me from serving the Lord, or not serving the Lord and serving people. Period. Y'all like to say people. Only God disqualifies people. So now that's just my 2 cents on it. Y'all need to relax. And Aaron needs to go and Sarah needs to go have a conversation with Dr. Michael Brown and his wife and talk about the details. This stuff had no business getting out like the way that it is, because she didn't go to him directly either. She talking about hearsay and somebody coming to him about what she's saying. No, she should have went straight to him. Period. Because he wasn't making a forcing her to hold her hand while he was in the car, right? They held hand all the way there. So, okay then. Well, okay. I don't know what else to say. Okay? All right, y'all, let me get ready. Y'all, how about I'm running late? Lord, have mercy. Talking to y'all about this Dr. Michael Brown stuff, but I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit more about that too, because I'm not finished. But I'm headed to church right now, and I need to get on there, and I can't. Well, I guess if the cop don't see me holding this thing like this. But anyway, y'all, so she was saying that if he was sorry, it should have never happened in the first place. I agree with her. He was the leader. He should have been more careful. But what she doesn't understand, life happens to everybody. All of us make mistakes. And to put him in a position that, you just should have never happened. I agree. It shouldn't have happened from the beginning. It was a bad choice. He fell into his flesh. That's what happens. It happens to all of us. And just because the people who run off at the mouth hadn't acted on theirs, girl, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't live in the clouds. Just because they did not act on theirs doesn't mean that they themselves didn't do it in their hearts. Because the Lord said, Jesus said, anybody that looks upon a woman, right, and lusts in his heart has already committed adultery. And just because they have not put the act out there doesn't mean that they're not guilty of the same thing. I'm just saying. It's just that their stuff, they didn't act on it, but God saw it. I'm just saying. So, I think we need to, we need to relax. And I'm not saying don't address sin. We need to address sin. And I know that they're saying that a leader has to be blameless. I know what the Bible said. I'm not saying that there's something that doesn't disqualify someone leading like a church and that kind of stuff. Absolutely. I think when you have certain things in your life, you just should not be leading people. You can lead them, but just in a different way, not over the pulpit or something like that. But now, this thing, this harshness, well, it should have never happened. That's true. And did he groom? I hold Michael Brown total responsible for this situation. I don't hold her responsible for what happened. What I hold her responsible for, that she also knew the Bible, and she could have reached out to Dr. Michael Brown even after she got a little older and really started understanding what was happening. She could have reached out to him, and they could have sat down with him and his wife, and her. They could have sat down, or whomever else she wanted to be a part of that conversation, and they could have talked about it. Is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So she's innocent in the fact that Dr. Brown was the one that was in power. Period. Right? Dr. Brown was the one that was in power, and he created that situation. But she also knew holding somebody's hand while the wife is sitting in the car is wrong. She also knew allowing him to constantly kiss her. Ain't like she was, like I said, ain't like she was holding her mouth all tight. She kissed him back. So, she knew that man was married as well. And I'm not saying, like I said, I don't hold her responsible, but I do hold her responsible for participating, because what she could have done immediately when it happened the first time, or when she expressed, okay, this was uncomfortable for me. I'm not sure if he stopped or not, but what I'm saying is that as time went on and she noticed that this was an issue, she should have reached out to him. Not all these middle people. It's not necessary. And then I fought him for, like I said earlier, for not reaching out after it was brought to his attention a few years ago that she was saying something about it. We got to stop operating in pride. We got to stop waiting on the other person to do something. We have to grow up as the saints. And I'm just saying, that let her keep on living. She said it shouldn't have never, there's plenty of things she's done that shouldn't have never happened. I'm just saying, y'all, come on now. We already know in the sense of him being a leader and that kind of stuff, he should have never put that young girl in that situation. But to act like somebody walking around here perfect as a saint is just not reality. It just we do our best. I do my best not to bring shame to the Lord. Have I done it before? Absolutely. Do our flesh get weak? Yes. And I think that when we judge people too harshly, we're going to find ourselves doing stuff we ain't got no business. That's all I'm saying. That we got to be careful. That's all I'm saying, saints. All right, y'all, I'm at church. I got to go. All right, bye. Y'all, I'm in Publix. Church is over. And I'm just picking up a few things. Y'all, it's a little chilly outside. So, I'm going to try to make this a quick run. Seems like these pecans is getting more expensive every time I come in here. And I need to get some more bread. Try the honey wheat keto bread. Give me a thing of strawberries, y'all. The blueberries, the buy one get one free. Getting some of those. Excuse me. Trying to make this quick. Y'all, I didn't have time to get my stick, so. I am in Publix. Let's see what we can get in here. Spicy fried popcorn chicken. Fried shrimp. Oh, they got fried shrimp in here. I don't know what I wanted. much done in here. I'll pull you guys back up in a second. So y'all, I'm in the car. This traffic, y'all know it's Christmas time, so this traffic is off the chain, okay? So I'm gonna be in this traffic maybe a little bit more than 5 minutes than usual. It is what it is. So y'all, church was really good. We had a candlelight service. I mean, the whole service was really, really nice. They showed like a movie, modern day Mary and Joseph, and they sing songs in between. And then we did the candle. We lit all the candles. Of course, we started singing some songs. Then a lot of people really gave their lives to the Lord. I mean, it was beautiful. I got emotional. I was emotional. Anytime I see people give their life to the Lord, I get emotional, right? Because it is by far the best decision that they would ever make. And you know what? Another thing what I love is that the fact that God, He has the final say-so about our lives. No matter how much our brothers and sisters have, whatever they have to say about us, God sees the best in us. Oh, yes, Jesus. He sees the best in us. And so, I don't know where I left off with that Michael Brown stuff, but Dr. Michael Brown. I'm just saying, y'all, we need to be careful. I think Michael Brown is being I think he's being humble as he can. Everybody just want him to give in major details. I wouldn't give major details. Deal with it. I wouldn't do it. If she wants to come out and do it, fine. Because she didn't from the onset went directly to him. She did once, and then she still had this thing going on with her. She should have went again if that wasn't something that she was pleased with. And I know he's maybe twisting the stories a little bit. Okay, well, it is what it is. What I'm saying is, she needs to have a conversation with Dr. Brown and his wife, and this stuff need to move on. I don't think he's a pastor at a church or anything anymore. I think he has his own ministry to the side, so it's not like he's leading, pastoring a church. And my heart goes out to her, because I do agree with her. She shouldn't have never been in that position. It shouldn't have never happened, but it did. And so we have to deal with it. We all are flawed people. We all do things we have no business doing as saved people. That's just a fact. Even she has done things she has no business doing as a saved person. Okay, and I'm not talking about as a young child. I'm talking about as an adult now. So the same grace that we want to extend it to us in our mess, we better learn how to extend that same grace to others. Grace doesn't mean that we don't deal with this. I'm just saying that how we deal with it matters. I don't think he's been resistant concerning this. I just think that everybody wants wants him to go into details, and he doesn't have to. That's all I'm saying. Not to the whole world, he doesn't. If he wants to go into details with his board and that kind of stuff, no problem. But he shouldn't have to come and tell the details all on social media. And if that's what Aaron wants to do, let her go right ahead. But he doesn't feel the need to do it, and I wouldn't do it either. So cry me a river about it. Okay? I wouldn't do it. So I mean I don't know, what everybody want him to do. Obviously she talking about it. Okay, well, she could have told his wife that. She could have went into details about that situation, even when that situation came up with the other woman. She then could have said something then. And I'm not saying she wasn't scared and she wasn't nervous and she wasn't strong enough to do it. That's possible. But now time has gone. Now she's an adult. She's grown. Right? So why did she not contact the wife after she was still feeling uncomfortable with this? Contact the wife and Dr. Brown and say, hey, listen, I'm still uncomfortable with this. I'm still hurting about what happened. This is the way that I feel. And let's take care of it. But that's not what she did. Everybody else, all these names she mentioned, saying that she need to go to the Roy's report. Okay, go ahead. You don't went to the Roy's report, right? Okay, all right. So now everybody got their opinion on it. Now everybody gonna have their opinion about you and how they felt like you should have handled it. I'm just saying that, okay, if that's what you want to do, now people gonna have thoughts about you. Period. And how you could have handled this better. I mean, this is almost 23 years ago. You 23 years older. You mean to tell me there is no time within that time you couldn't pick up the telephone and call Dr. Brown and his wife and say, I would like to have a meeting with you all? Come on now. Y'all, leave me alone with all this stuff. I don't even have time for some of this stuff we got going on. Because some of this stuff, I think, is just that people just want to be popular. And all of these YouTubers and stuff just want to be popular and stuff, and they want to sit down. I don't want to have no interview with none of these people. Because the people that interviewing you, they trying to get your side of the story, they flawed too. Let them keep on living. They gonna do stuff they ain't got no business either. Okay? All right. And being self-righteous and judgmental, you go right ahead with that foolishness, because it's the same measure. I talked about that when it came to Johnny and Suzanne Jonathan. They want to tell somebody what they need to do with a 30-year marriage. Well, let's see how their marriage is gonna be in 30 years. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm home. I know y'all, I got a little strong right there. I'm sorry. It's no need for that. Love y'all. I'll pick y'all back up.